So I think the first teacher that had a huge influence on me was my secondary school, which would be the equivalent of high school here, English teacher, whose name was Tom Walsh. And he was really the first person who really kind of opened up language and the possibilities of language to me. In his class, we read Yeats, we read Jordan Manley Hopkins, we read T.S. Eliot, Emily Dickinson, Patrick Kavanagh, just all of this poetry that I'd never really encountered before. We read Beckett plays, we read, I think Silas Marner was the novel, we read some Shakespeare. And it was just, he got me excited about language in a way that I hadn't been really excited about language up until that point. And thinking too about a kind of a creative engagement with language, because we also did a lot of creative writing in that class. And that was really life-changing to be in that classroom. It was a class that I was always excited to go into, even as a kind of a, which wasn't cool as a sort of a 17 or 18-year-old. It wasn't a cool thing to be excited to go to class, but I was every time that I went into that classroom. And then I think the second teacher that was a huge influence on me was Philip Levine, the American poet, who I had as a teacher in the graduate program at NYU. And he just made writing poetry and thinking about poetry such a kind of a serious endeavor, and really made us feel like what we were doing was important, and that we needed to care about it and sort of to see why it was important. And so there was a gravity to his classroom that was really important to me too at that time, in terms of feeling that what we were doing was something that had real value, and that we were in conversation with everybody who'd written before, and we'd better take that conversation very seriously. So those were the two teachers I think that have had the biggest influence on me.